Okay, so today we're going to be listening to low frequencies in this particular video. So really, to get the best from it, I do suggest please listen on good headphones or studio monitors or the best that you've got. Let's get stuck in. Now, a trick I used to use a lot to give my kicks a bit of bottom end thump was this. So what I would do was I would set up a new track, as you can see that I've done here. On here, I would put a tone generator and I would have this set to the frequency that I want to add to my kick. After that, I would have a gate. Now, this gate opens each time my kick goes through it, basically allowing us to hear the low frequency tone. And then the final thing is I would set up a send from my kick track to the new track with the tone gen and the gate. And this little trick served me well for quite a long time. Then a few years ago, I downloaded this plugin. Now this plugin meant I could now do all of that with just this one single plugin. Great stuff. This is the Metro Halo Thump. It's described as being a percussive subharmonic synth. Now it produces or synthesizes low frequency tones in reaction to the incoming audio. So let's take a look at what controls we've got on the Metro Halo Thump. Now first off, if you go to this top left corner here, see this tiny little icon, this is for resizing the user interface. So if I click on it once, it becomes bigger. Click on it again, it becomes even bigger. And if you click on it again, it goes back to the previous size. Next up, we have two oscillators. So this is where we get our subharmonic tones from for adding in with our kick. Now the two oscillators are identical. So let's have a look at what each one has. So first of all, we have a control for attack frequency. So this of course is the initial attack of the synthesized tone. Below this then we have sustain frequency. So of course this means that we can pick a different frequency for the sustain part of the tone. Gives you lots of control. Down below this we have an on-off switch for each oscillator, and below this we've also got a fader for each oscillator, which allows us to do a mix of the two oscillators, the output of the two oscillators that is. From there, the output of our two oscillators goes to what's called the amplitude followers. The first two controls are for the envelope or the volume envelope. The next two are the attack and sustain for the pitch of the produced tone. Over here we have a wet-dry control, and then after that it all goes out through the final output gain of the plugin. Now down here we have what they call the oscillator pitch history. It gives you a graphical display of what's been produced by the two oscillators. For the most part, I don't even look at this. And then finally, we have a stereo pair of output meters. So let's first of all hear the kick that we're going to be using. So we're going to use just one of the oscillators, so I'm going to turn this one off. And let's go to our wet-dry control. We're going to set this to 50-50. 50% wet, 50% dry, thereabouts. So first of all, we're going to be using oscillator 1. I'm going to set the attack frequency and the sustain frequency all the way to the left, all the way anti-clockwise, just to start with. So let's set up the attack frequency. So basically, play back and we're going to just move it until we hear something that we like. Let's have a listen. Okay, at around 86 Hz, that's given us a nice amount of thump just to start with. Let's now go to the sustain frequency. Now this can really help thicken up the sound. Okay, let's play back. Let's see what we get out of this one. So as you can hear, if we go too far with the sustain frequency, we start to hear an actual pitch or tone, which is something I don't want for this particular kick. At around 31 Hz, sounds pretty good to me. I've also brought up the volume a bit, so we got a bit more of the output of the oscillator going through the plugin. So next we're going to the amplitude followers. And we're going to go for the volume envelope, which is these top two controls. Now, generally speaking, I like the envelope attack pretty fast. Once the kick comes through, I like the tone to be right there with it. But what we are going to have a go at is we're going to have a go at this sustain. Here we can really tighten up the sound of our produced tone. Okay, at around 51 milliseconds thereabouts, it sounds like we're getting a pretty nice sound. So the attack and sustain of the pitch, I tend to leave them alone for the most part, but I think they are actually worth experimenting with. You just might get something out of them that you like. At this stage, you also have the option of bringing in oscillator 2. I'm going to leave that. I think you get the idea with this plugin now. We have lost a little bit of volume through the process that we've gone through, so I'm just going to bring up the output by around 3.5 dB. Okay, let's have a listen to it before and after. Let's see what we think of our new sound. Going to start with the plugin engaged. So all in all, it really beefs up the sound of the kick. As the name of the plugin says, it gives it quite a bit of thump. And there you have it. I'll see you in the next video.